Good morning, everybody. You're all very welcome to the Léargas Innovative Learning Awards for 2021. My name is John Tate, and I'm one of the eTwinning officers in Léargas. I want to thank you all for joining us this morning and for helping to recognise the amazing work of all our winners today.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ciara Gibbons, and I'm the other eTwinning officer here at Léargas. So today, the award ceremony will celebrate the winning projects of 3 initiatives. The first is the eTwinning National Quality Label, and the European Language Label, and European Innovative Teaching Award. So today really is about recognising and celebrating the winners of these awards. And it's a chance, I suppose, to celebrate the creativity of teachers and schools that are involved in our programmes. And today you'll see project showcases from the winners of each award. And we'd like to now welcome all our winners and take this opportunity to say a massive congratulations to you all on your hard work over this past year. Well done to everyone. So we hope that you enjoy our award ceremony today.
We'd also encourage you to use the chat facility throughout the morning. So you might want to pass on your congratulations or pass on your greetings or tell us all where you're from. So you can use the chat facility, which is on the right-hand side of your screen there. So we'd also now like to start off this morning with a special message from Simon Harris, the Minister for Further and Higher Education, Research, Innovation and Science. Over to you, Minister.
Hello, everyone. As Minister for Further and Higher Education, Research, Innovation and Science, I'm really delighted to join the Léargas Innovative Learning Awards this morning and to celebrate the creativity and imagination of teachers and schools right across the whole of our country. Today's awards recognise the winning projects of 3 different but interlinked European exchange and learning initiatives: the European Language Label, the new European Innovative Teaching Award, and the eTwinning National Quality Label. These 3 initiatives and their respective awards are supported in Ireland by Léargas. Each one rewards inventiveness in teaching and in learning, whether in the area of languages, in innovation, or in digital transition. Creativity like this should always be celebrated at any time. But of course, it becomes even more important during a time of blended and remote learning, as we've all recently experienced. Today's award-winning European Language Labels projects have all supported learners to deeply engage with other languages, whether at school or at the university. And it's heartening to see the diversity of the languages involved, from English as a second language to Spanish to Lithuanian. These projects also, of course, increase awareness of the importance of language learning and the use of foreign languages, which are both key to our own national strategy, as explained in Languages Connect, Ireland's strategy for foreign languages in Ireland from 2017 to 2026. I'm proud and I'm honoured to congratulate the Irish laureates of the first ever European Innovative Teaching Awards. These awards go to Erasmus Plus projects that support the European education area. This is the EU's shared vision for a modern, inclusive European education and training sector that is fit to face the digital and green transitions. I also want to commend everyone involved in this year's eTwinning National Quality Label projects for your excellence in using information and communication technology. Your school's commitment to quality and openness in European collaborative work has seen digital technologies embedded across the curriculum, upholding goals in the digital strategy for schools. As you can see, national and European policy and your award-winning projects go hand in hand. Besides being collaborative, innovative and fun, your projects support European and national strategy in education. We in the Department of Further and Higher Education, Research, Innovation and Science join all in Léargas to congratulate you on the inspiring work that you have done. Go Léargas. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Minister Simon Harris there for his kind words of encouragement and support. So now I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Graham Clifford. Graham is a social entrepreneur and former broadcaster, and he's the founder of the Sanctuary Runners, creator of Translate Ireland, and One Town, One Voice. This is a solidarity through song initiative, creating community singing groups across Ireland. So we're delighted that Graham is with us today, and I'll pass you over to him now for his keynote address.
Good morning, everybody. It's wonderful to be here, and thank you so much for having me. I know in years past, these awards were held in places like Farmley House. Well, I mean, this morning you're basically in my house, and I'm in your house, or I'm in your classroom. And instead of the bubbly, we're probably got our coffee. Anyway, thank you so much again for having me, and well done, and congratulations to all the winners of the Léargas Innovative Learning Awards for 2021. So I'm going to just briefly explain a bit about my story, I suppose, how I got to be doing what I'm doing today, and where innovation and learning and listening and pushing the boundaries and creativity have played such an important role in tackling very important and very topical, I guess, social issues. I'll just kick on here, and thank you so much again. Okay, so my background is as a journalist, as a feature writer mainly, but also as a broadcaster. And over the years, I started off actually on Radio Kerry down in Tralee. Then I went to work on radio in Australia, and dealing an awful lot with Aboriginal communities on the west coast of Australia, getting to better understand, write and report on their lives. And then I came back to the UK, and I started to work for the BBC, for Sky Television, and doing a lot of writing as well. And I suppose that's my career, which eventually ended up with me back home in Ireland, working for the Irish Independent and then the Irish Times and so on. I had this wonderful opportunity to go and report from around the world, to report from places where you might have things going on, war, pandemics, and so on. And I developed during that time, I suppose, a key understanding of looking at things from perspectives, listening, and not superimposing my view of the world on everything. And you learn that way. And I think that's crucial down the road for what I ended up doing. And another part of the armory, I suppose, I was able to bring to my more recent work is the ability to be sitting down with a chief in a hut in rural East Swatini and learning about his life. But similarly, then maybe sitting down with a president or a prime minister and dealing with the issues and talking about the issues which affect people around the world. And I think being able to have that balance and have different perspectives is so important as you go about your work. So during the pandemic, and I'll just explain what I think, and then maybe I'll get on to why innovation is so important, because that's so relevant for you guys going forward and what you've done so far. During the pandemic, my wife is a GP, I should have said that. During the pandemic, we realized quite quickly that whilst there was an awful lot of information available in English and Irish for people in Ireland about the virus, protect yourself, there really weren't that many resources from the state in other languages. As you know better than anybody else, we live in a very diverse, modern, vibrant, multicultural Ireland. At the last census, about 90,000, so 90,000 people would have said their standard of English was very poor, or they didn't speak English at all. So in the context of a pandemic, it was so vital that information, accurate information, updated information was made available to migrants in Ireland. It showed up as well, and you'll have seen this too, I'm sure, that often there's a disconnect in the understanding of the needs of everybody in Ireland today. And sometimes there's a real defined disconnect in relation to resources, facilities, and services to those who are migrants or who don't speak English. And it's only when we understand the migrant community, so that could be the mom and dad of a child in your class, unless we understand the barriers that are there for them, we will never come up with the solutions. And in the context of the pupil down the road may be negatively impacted by the fact that mom and dad aren't 100% sure of the education system, or of what's going on, of what's expected of them, and so on. So understanding the migrant community, I felt and always feel, is absolutely crucial. We're adapting to that, but adapting slowly. Anyway, we set up the COVID-19 World Service originally, and that became Translate Ireland. So Translate Ireland works with doctors, nurses, healthcare professionals from other countries originally, but now living and working in Ireland, to produce and present these video messages, which are then shared with migrants and migrant groups and so on across the country, and which are shared by the likes of the HSE and government departments as well. So we don't just cover COVID-19, we now produce video messages on lots of public health issues, such as, the flu vaccine, such as mental health, such as, what is a GP, contraception, sexual health, all these kind of things. And we have more of those videos coming out now over the next 2 months. So it's a very important service. It's actually up for an award itself on Monday as the Public Health Initiative of the Year at the Irish Healthcare Awards. So it's quite funny. My wife and I, we have 4 children. We haven't been away for a night out together for I don't know how long, years. So we're very excited about going to Dublin for that. That's on Monday. And here are some of the presenters that we had. So you can see this wonderful mix of different languages and different nationalities who have so much to give, but probably were never asked in Ireland. Lots of GPs, consultants, specialists, nurses, healthcare researchers, and so on from across the world. And they're just so eager to help, and they can see that this kind of model should be used everywhere. I should add that the video messaging, the multilingual video messaging by doctors, nurses, and healthcare professionals isn't done anywhere in the world. So it's quite exciting. It can lead to. And it doesn't have to be health. We also do messaging in immigration, but we work with the Department of Justice and so on as well. So the scope is huge. But before we set up Translate Ireland, I set up the Sanctuary Runners in January of 2018. So I was writing away. Remember, I told you about that journalistic career. It was all going great. And, I guess I was on a clear career path. But I went running one day in Waterford, down in Dungarvan, in a race there in a real cold January morning. And I had this in my head because I'd come back from somewhere not long before that, where I had been walking with migrants across Eastern and Central Europe and reporting at the time for RTE. And I was very frustrated, I suppose, by the fact that in Ireland, if you wanted to get to better understand the immigration system, if you wanted to sit down and have a normal chat with somebody who happens to be an asylum seeker or refugee at that time, there was no real way of doing it. And if there was a way of doing it, it was often charity-based. And I wanted something to focus on solidarity rather than charity. So I was running in Waterford, putting one foot in front of the other. I'm not a natural runner, really. I looked around and I thought, running, this is a way of bringing people together. So the Sanctuary Runners now has almost 30 groups across Ireland. We've over 4,000 participants, and almost a quarter of those would be people who either are or were living in direct provision or a refugee resettlement program. And the great thing about running is that, or walking or jogging, you don't have to be a runner, is that when you're shoulder to shoulder, it's a lot more comfortable to just chit chat about whatever you want. You can talk about football or the weather or whatever. You don't have to dive into the big, difficult topics. But over time, friendships build, organic relationships build, and it's beneficial to everybody who comes along. And last weekend, we started our first group in London. And next weekend, as in not this weekend coming, but the one after, we're setting up our first group up in Donegal in Letterkenny. So it's very exciting. It actually was named as one of the top 9 solidarity through sport initiatives in the European Union by the European Commission in 2019. So we're very happy with that. And we work with the likes of Athletics Ireland, the Olympic Federation of Ireland, and many more. But it shows how simple an idea, like putting on a blue top, all running together, that's it. That's the lot. There's, it can be that simple sometimes to crack something that's quite difficult. And I think you need to do that in all your different innovative work. Sometimes the more complicated you make something, the harder it is to bring somebody in. You know yourself, and you've been told this as well, as you look for funding or you look for support. If you're taking quite a long time to explain what you do, then you're probably losing people. So we try to keep everything so simple. Our mission statement is that the Sanctuary Runners enable Irish people to run alongside and in solidarity with asylum seekers, refugees, and migrants. So that's it. And our principles are solidarity, friendship, and respect. So we come together on a Saturday morning across Ireland at park runs. In pre-COVID times, and hopefully in the year to come, fingers crossed, we'll be taking part in a lot more events as well. So our events would have varied from the Longford 5K to the Cork City Marathon. That's our big one. Races all across the country where we also take part as well. And more recently, because I don't have enough to do and life isn't busy enough already, I had this idea based on something we tried over the last 2 or 3 years. I set up an international choir. It sounds very grand, but it's not. I set up an international choir in Fermoy. Fermoy is typical of a lot of towns in Ireland today. 24% of the population would be non-Irish. Over 60 nationalities living and working in the area. And it's a nice town, and it's a cohesive town in general, but certainly, as in other towns, you have parallel communities. You have guys who work in the local meat factory who would never really consider going up to the GAA field to play. You have people who have been living here for years, but wouldn't necessarily know that many people. And to me, that's nuts. It makes no sense whatsoever across all kinds of life. I think that the more cohesive a town or community is, the stronger it is, the better it is to deal with adversity. It's more joyous, it's more enjoyable, it's good for local business, and so on. So we set up the Fermoy International Choir. Over 100 members, which is a lot for a choir. And our poor choir director, I think she's got a few grey hairs since we started. And we've over 25 different nationalities. And it's worked so well. And it's secular. We have a lot of people, obviously, for whom English is not their first language. So the way that the songs are worked on, the songs that we choose and so on, they're carefully thought about. And the end result is you get all these people together enjoying themselves as one. Nationality disappears to a degree. I mean, we all celebrate each other's nationalities, but as a group, we're one group. And that led to amazing social nights that I won't get into here. It's too early in the morning, but like just such fun and such friendships and relationships. And it spun off into walking groups and drama groups and all these kind of things. And it's so important, I think, then for the town to be able to stick its chest out and say, "Wow, we're doing this, and it's working well." We'd sing in public events and so on, and do it with great pride. So that concept we wanted to broaden and to make available to other towns, because what we find in a lot of towns across Ireland is that there is a will to have greater integration, or there is a will to bring people together, but people don't necessarily know the way. So sports, like with the Sanctuary Runners, or singing, like with One Town, One Voice, are vehicles that people can understand and people can kind of get involved in safely without overcommitting, but at the same time sticking their foot and their toe in the water. And if they like it, they jump in, and before they know it, they're real advocates for it, and they really believe in it, and it gives them great energy, and their eyes are opened and their lives improve. And I think that's what we should be at in everything that we do. And I know through the awards, it's what you guys and the work that you do is that ultimately what you are doing will improve lives. And it will improve people's understanding of their education system. It will improve, or it should improve, how we do education in Ireland. There is nothing like learning from other examples abroad, seeing how others do it and vice versa. That's some of our choir there. I should have put that one up before. We'd have these public events with put flags all over the place, would bring real positive energy, and everybody loved it. Everybody had a smile on their face. So my hope is that we can replicate this now in towns across the country through One Town, One Voice. At the moment, community singing groups and so on and choirs aren't coming together really because of the COVID figures, but our hope is that over the next couple of months, we'll line up the towns to work with, and then when COVID figures drop, we'll be able to set up these choirs across Ireland. If you're in a town, by the way, and you want to get involved with us, please do. It's onetownonevoice@gmail.com if you think it's something that could work in your town. And it's crucial to say we don't take ourselves too seriously. We're not overly earnest. You don't have to be Pavarotti to come along. All you need to bring is that positivity, and you'll enjoy it. So I'm not going to keep you too long. More important things to follow, but I think it is important to focus on why innovation is so important, and why we should innovate, and why we shouldn't be afraid to innovate. The minute you identify the need for innovation, I think you almost, you have to go for it. A lot of us will know a lot of people who moan and groan and point out things that aren't great in society, and I understand that. I probably do it myself sometimes. But for me, solutions are far more important. If you're problem orientated, you'll struggle to come up with the solutions, and solutions are intrinsic constantly and have been through the evolution of mankind. So if you've identified the problem, well, you're halfway there to trying to tackle the problem. And the journey can be more revealing than the destination. I find this all the time, that I think, well, I'm going to do this because I want to achieve this. But halfway through, something else is happening to the side, and I think, oh my God, this is wonderful. This is really as good as what I intended to happen at the start. And I'm sure through your wonderful award-winning projects, you've as well. Every positive impact in society is beneficial to others. I often think this is forgotten. So that you do will benefit the children and the parents and the societies in which you live without you even realizing it sometimes, and without the person themselves realizing it. Positive action it's just something that runs through your veins. And if you've experienced it in one aspect of your life, it will undoubtedly impact others, and it will lead to more innovation as well. People will see what you're doing, and consciously or subconsciously, they'll run with it. Ireland actually, for all our faults and failings, is a great place to come up with an innovation because people will support. And I think that's very important as well to understand that. We must continue to question and to evolve and to change. I think this is vital, and it's vital in education, I think, because if we work along the same lines and stick to the same did decades ago, clearly that isn't a sensible thing to do. Something that Minister Harris touched on there, the fact that we are a multilingual country, that we're part of the European Union, that eTwinning and e-learning has become such a tool that we can use. I think that's very important that we understand that and that we use that and that we're not afraid to use it. I think sometimes people will question and then just stop, like I said before. But you have to ask the big question: why not you? Why aren't you the one to innovate? Why aren't you the one to try something and step out of your comfort zone? If you look around and nobody else is doing it, why not you? Sometimes people feel, oh, there's somebody more qualified. I'm sure there's somebody working on this in a government department somewhere, or there's some specialist private company. Well, if you can't see them, then clearly they're either not very good at making public what they're doing, or nothing is happening. So I feel that if you ask yourself, why not you, and you add up, all the good points that you have and the people that you have around you and the experience that you've built up, then it has to be that goes for it. And if you go for it, then I think you will find that there are supports all over, and especially in the area in which you're working at the moment. I think there's huge scope in terms of e-twinning and e-learning. I won't get into it now, but I've in the past I would have assisted a lot of kind of e-learning initiatives across the European Union, specifically into Irish classrooms. And, I think if there is more light shone on this area, that you could have even greater innovation. But what's happening at the moment is really good. And what's happening with you guys in particular is really good. And during COVID-19, as you know, anybody else, the whole issue of blended learning or of learning from elsewhere is really now something that's very quickly become very mainstream. But we need to make sure we capitalize on that, and that it's of huge benefit to those in our classes and to everybody with whom we work. And I think, having that sense of personal pride as an innovator is important too. I love days like today because I think it's really important to acknowledge the great work that people are doing. It's really important for you as people behind these innovations that you can step back and people can say, well done. Now, if you're anything like me, you'll go, oh, for God's sake, stop now. There's more to do and it could be better and I didn't do this and I meant to do that. And for one day, just take the step back and take the praise. It is important. It's vital that you understand the positive impact having in terms of education and in terms of society. And the two are totally interlinked. So by doing what you're doing, not only are you potentially improving the education system in Ireland for students today and into the future, but also you're having a very positive impact on society in general. And I think that's something that really should be celebrated. And I'm delighted to take part today in some small way to help in that celebration. Hopefully next year we'll all meet in Farmley House. But enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you so much again for inviting me along this morning.
Thank you very much, Graham, there for that great keynote address. Some really inspiring words there from Graham. Thanks for sharing some of your experiences and your wisdom. Some really amazing examples of innovative teaching and learning there. And it's wonderful to hear of so many people from so many diverse backgrounds benefiting from Graham's work. And best of luck to him and all his future endeavors. We'll be keeping track of you. But don't forget, you yourself can keep track of Graham. Follow him on Twitter. Keep track of all the great kind of work that's been done there. As Graham said, it's very important to acknowledge innovators and teachers and to take the opportunity we have today for you to take that moment to acknowledge yourselves and your work. So let's do that. Let's start that. I'd now like to introduce you to David Martinez Floria. David is a Spanish teacher in St. Andrew's College Junior School. He's a previous winner of the European Language Label, and he's here to speak about the label and also to introduce you to this year's winners. So thank you, David.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for letting me to be here today. My name is David, and as you heard, I'm the Spanish teacher in St. Andrew's College Junior School, but I also teach in Loreto College Junior School in St. Stephen Green. And today it's a great opportunity for all of us to get involved in this type of initiative. I think I feel very, very lucky of belong to European Union, to be able to teach across different countries and to share all this experience with my students and also teachers. The reason why I started my project, Desde la Perla Esmeralda a la Perla del Mediterráneo, it was because when I was a child, I was learning English as a lot of people in Europe. And I kind of miss that experience of sharing our culture or learning more about the culture of the English speaker countries. So when I started teaching Spanish for the first time, my first aim was to provide this experience to my students to get to know the Spanish culture and to interact with Spanish students, because I think that's a very important thing behind every learning, to give a real use to what we are learning, because otherwise what's the point of doing all this learning if you are not going to use it, or if you are not going to give a real use to everything that we are learning. So this project started 3 years ago, just to create this environment where the students were able to interact in Spanish and also in English, and to get or to live this experience. And after 3 years, I can say that we have 4 schools participating in this project. 2 from Dublin, Loreto College, St. Stephen Green, and St. Andrews College in Dublin as well, and 2 schools from a small city in north of Africa that belongs to Spain called Ceuta. These 2 schools are Ciudad de Ceuta y Ortega Gasset. Let me just go through this presentation. Last year, we got the chance to win the awards as teaching a foreign language using IC tools, and for us was a great learning opportunity. First of all, because as I said to you, this experience provides a digital environment and also an education environment to our students to give a real use to the language they were learning. Our students were using Spanish language, and the students back in Spain, they were using English to interact with our students. Also, as language teacher, for me, it's very important to integrate the culture in all their learning experiences. And this project allowed us to do this, because through different projects, the children had the opportunity to research about each other city culture, work on that, and then share it just to enhance the whole learning experience. And also, I say it's this type of initiative is great as well, because it creates links in between schools, communities, teachers, and students. It's not just the students learning something or participating in a learning experience, it's also the teachers who have the chance of learning from other teachers from different countries to use resources in a common way. Maybe there is a school that doesn't have that many resources, but the other one can provide us. So this is a way of putting all of this together in order to build up this learning experience that is going to be beneficial for the community, for the teachers, and also the students. As I said to you, our project, Desde la Pez, la Esmeralda, la Perla del Mediterráneo, it has been worked through 3 years. The first year was quite tricky because the whole pandemic started, so we kind of have to move from the classroom to the online environment, being the first time that students and teachers have to deal with this type of learning experience. So the first year we were kind of starting our first steps, discovering the culture of the city of Dublin and the city in Ceuta, and we work on a digital poster where all the students, the Spanish students and the Irish students, had the chance to share the culture on a digital poster using the language they were learning. The second year, we went back to the past. As I said to you, for us, it's very important, the educational community. So we wanted the family to step up in this project. So the students had to ask their grandparents, their parents as well, how was Dublin in the past, how was Ceuta in the past. And then we did an amazing researching project where the children communicate with the family participate in the project, and the result was an interactive market where you could see some foods that the people used to eat in the past, the activities the people used to do in both cities in the past, and how the people were dealing then. And as a new thing, the children from Spain and also from Ceuta had the chance as well to participate on a radio program in Spain. Our students were recording podcasts using Spanish, which is the language they are learning, to communicate and to share the cultures and learning experiences with the Spanish people and also with the Spanish students back to the city of Ceuta. And this year is going to be very exciting for us as well, as we're going to be a collaborative project. The students from both of the schools in Spain and the students from both of the schools in Ireland will be working along together in learning groups in order to reflect on the climate change and work towards some solutions they can start working on in order to avoid this big problem we're having nowadays. Another of the things we will be working with will be the time capsule. So we are going to create a time capsule with all cultural elements. We're going to put everything in there. We're going to send it to Spain. Spain will send us one as well, and we will keep it here as part of this culture sharing in between all the participant schools in the project. And obviously, because we are talking about Dublin and Ceuta in the future, we are going to be kind of imagining, designing the cities of the future. 3 amazing years of sharing, learning, and 3 amazing years that help the teacher to deal with this difficult situation we had because COVID-19. And yeah, let me just keep going. As benefits of this project, what benefits I can share with you of being carrying out an activity or initiative like this. One of the most important benefits was motivation. The fact that the students have the chance to share what they're doing at school or what they're doing at home with all their students from a different country motivate them a lot. And they are always looking forward to do more and more and discover more about the other culture. And they are very excited as well of being participating on the radio program I mentioned a few seconds ago. As well, as I said to you, it's a great environment to give a real use to the language they are learning. And one of the biggest benefits for me was the learning opportunity for the teachers. We started this whole new learning experience online 2 years ago, and I say we all kind of have some difficulties in order to deal with this. The fact that I had all the teachers in the project participating with me helped me to discover new apps, new websites, new resources that I can use to make this online learning experience much better. So I think this is one of the most important as well when you're doing an European project like this. The fact that you can collaborate with all the teachers and then you can learn a lot from them. And finally, as I said to you, you have the support from the project community. There are some schools, they don't have much resources or many resources, but maybe your school has some and then can share with all the schools just to make the whole learning experience better. For me, these are the most important benefits I got from this project. Some of our work was a digital poster about the culture from the city of Ceuta and Dublin, a digital and interactive market with food that used to be eaten in the past, all pictures from both of the cities. Also, the radio participation, which is a great experience for them because they are giving a real use to the language. They are communicating using the language they are learning with Spanish people through a radio program. And finally, we had the chance to participate in a webinar for the University of Granada, where we had the chance to share some of these European ideas, these European collaborative ideas of working together with other schools across Europe. I would like to thank all of you, and I would like to congratulate to the winners this year. And I would like to kind of share with you how happy or how great opportunity this project has been for all of us. And I would like to keep working with us. And I would like you to integrate more in your teaching experiences because it's going to be something very good for your school, for you, and also for your students. It's a great experience. And we are fortunate to live where we live because we can share all our culture, we can interact with people from all the countries, and we can integrate all of that in all on our own cultures and learning experiences. So once again, thank you very much for letting me be here with you and sharing all of this learning experience and projects with you today. Thanks, and have a good day. Enjoy the rest of the meeting.
Academy is to support the children and their communities as they move on from primary to secondary and hopefully on to third level. It's about aspiration raising, it's about opening doors, and it's about bringing the university to the community and the community to the university. The programme was set up after the school established a need for a language programme to bridge the gap between primary and secondary.
It has created endless opportunities for them to experience a third language before they transition onto secondary school. And the anxiety of transitioning onto secondary school can be a burden for them and for parents. But when they realise and when they experience this new opportunity of learning French in primary school, it maybe lessens that burden.
A core part of our project was focused on celebrating the culture, language and heritage of Lithuania. To do this, we used the eTwinning platform. This was very helpful. It allowed our students and teachers to share ideas, experiences and practices of school life in Ireland and Lithuania.
Because Beach Hill College offers Lithuanian as a short course for the Junior Cert and as a Leaving Cert subject, we can reach our full potential, become confident Lithuanian speakers, and, most importantly, learn more about our culture and heritage.
The support from Léargas is invaluable and they will help you every step of the way. We really enjoyed entertaining students and teachers from Vilnius in November 2019 and we're really looking forward to our trip this coming November.
Our hope with this project is that our Lithuanian students now feel valued and a sense of belonging in our school.
We're in inner city Dublin and our school is a DEIS Band 1 school with 255 children. Our children come from a really diverse community and from all over the world. So we have children who speak over 30 languages and who come from countries all over the world, or their families come from countries all over the world.
Our project is called the Languages Connect Us project, and it is a project to encourage the development of home languages in our school. We've done this through lots of different programs in our school that the children are involved in, through staff training and through encouraging teachers to incorporate home languages in their daily classroom life.
Children are engaging in learning projects for the Erasmus programme, and therefore they're using new languages, sharing diversity within a language with other children, with other families. This is all really greatly impacting our children in their learning in the school.
You have the best resource in front of you, which is the children. They're the experts here. They're the ones that have the home culture, the home language. So use them. Look at your calendar. Look at events, cultural events. Pick a week where you can celebrate languages and get the children to lead it. That would be the key piece of advice. Use them.
The project is called Erasmus Speaks. It's a transnational virtual exchange between the University of Limerick and 5 European partner universities based in France, Germany, Austria and Spain. And participants were all students of languages.
I thought it was great because we were still able to talk with a native speaker. I was able to make friends with her, and it was also good because we were on the same level. So she had the same level of English as I had Spanish.
This virtual exchange is a really good opportunity to talk to a native speaker, and in this way just kind of maybe break your barrier and just talk in other language.
Unfortunately, we couldn't go to our Erasmus colleges in person, but to be fortunate enough to be able to have this virtual program meant we were able to engage with French students or wherever they were from to execute something that was really, really cool.
Some really amazing work there from our European language label winners. Well done to everyone, all the teachers and schools involved. So great to see such a range of different languages and from different diverse backgrounds. You can really see how languages can help to connect us together. So congratulations to everyone. And thank you to David for introducing the awards and also sharing some of his insights from his project as well. So next up we have Ronan O'Sullivan, a teacher and one of our eTwinning ambassadors. And Ronan is a previous winner of the eTwinning National Quality Label and he'll introduce this year's winners.
Hello, and welcome to today. I'm coming from a background of teaching. I'm teaching in Davis College for the last 25 years. My earliest memories of eTwinning are pre-2010, whereby I basically was looking for something different in the classroom. At that stage, the classroom, you closed your door, you got on with your business, and that was it. And a lot of students in discussions would have been saying that they weren't meeting people from other countries, and there was no involvement at a European level in the school. So we decided to seek out something, and that's where we fell upon eTwinning. It amazed me the amount of work and the level of work that was going on across Europe at that stage. So I suppose the one word that I would put across with eTwinning is opportunity. And for us as a school, and for us as teachers and learners within the institution, we are delighted that we came across eTwinning because it gave us the opportunity to work at a European level. Some of those opportunities, basic projects we started with other countries like France, Norway, Spain. We have a lot of projects at this stage done. We've received national quality labels for those. We've also received European quality labels. But cutting across the language labels, I can remember myself when I early on became an ambassador, heading towards Farmley House, not knowing what to expect from a day of European language label. And during that hour, I was almost brought to tears by some of the stories that I heard. There was one student in Minute studying 15 languages. There was a lady who had come from Russia who won an award, who had spent 8 years learning English with no level of English coming to Ireland, had spent 8 years in a library learning English. So the opportunities are amazing out there. There are a lot of good ambassadors in Ireland. Just a couple of names that come to mind: Brendan Colleran and Glenda McKeown. There are about 17 ambassadors now at this stage, so I don't want to leave anybody out. And they do great work and give great advice for anyone who wants to get involved in eTwinning. These days don't really come together without a lot of work. Now, while I'm not involved in the background, I know that John Tate, Ciara, Emma Granger and we'll say Anne Gillerin at European level have put a lot of work in, and these awards don't come around without a lot of work in the background, and that goes for everything. Our school has had ample opportunities over the years through eTwinning. As I said, winning awards is great, but I think the whole idea is the projects for the students. Today is an awards day, and you know, there's a lot of good projects out there that have been worked on. Some are shorter projects, some are longer. There's an incredible diverse range of projects when you look at the eTwinning website. It can go anywhere from academic subjects like mathematics, along the lines of art, along the lines of woodwork, metalwork. It is just flabbergasting when you look at the amount and level of projects out there in Europe. From my own point of view, I was introduced to things like Kahoot, Mentimeter, the whole concept of blended learning, which Graham was talking about earlier on. I was introduced to them through eTwinning. And that's what amazed me when I went to European level conferences, the amount of work that was going on out there, and some of the innovation that was spoken about earlier on was there on display. So I think today is a very special day. It always is. Obviously, the whole idea of being in Farmley House would have been lovely, but we're here. I'm in my school. I'm after coming out of one class, and I'll be going into class very shortly again. But I want to thank everybody involved in eTwinning. Some of the names I mentioned earlier. I want to thank all, and I want to give a huge congratulations to all those who have won awards today in all the different innovative areas. eTwinning has meant a lot to me over the years. It has given me personally a lot. It has given my school a lot. We are an eTwinning school now, and I love to wish everyone the best of luck, Cogorgas, on winning your prize today, and cherish this moment because it'll open up more opportunities for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for our quality label for our project Come Superzook. We had an absolute blast doing it. Just like last year, we got to work with project partners and the British School in the Netherlands. So thank you, Sandra, and to your students for making it just so much fun. What a fantastic way to learn a language without feeling like you're doing any work at all. Thanks everybody and enjoy your day.
Tá anna áthas orm an dús seo a ghlacha. It is with great honour that I accept this national quality label on behalf of my students, the school community and everyone here at Davis College. Our project was Digital EU and You, what a smart school could look like. And a special word of thanks goes out to all Léargas and everybody at the eTwinning, John, Emma and Ciara. Thank you very much and have a lovely day.
Greetings from Briscane Community College. On behalf of ourselves and our partner schools in Germany, Spain, Norway and Lithuania, we are delighted to receive this National Quality Label Award for our project, Future Erasmus, carrying European values into the future. This science fiction and creative writing project allowed us to reflect on what European values are and help us to create a vision of the future we would like to achieve. Due to COVID-19, we had to extend this project, so we are particularly proud to have gotten it over the line and to have received this award. Thanks to Léargas and eTwinning for all the support they have provided throughout the life of the project, and thanks for awarding us this quality label.
Last year, my pupils in 6th class in Sculweragon Small in Graignamanagh, County Kilkenny, had a wonderful time working on our eTwinning project, building bridges through European cultural heritage. We are delighted to receive the National Quality Label for this project. All the girls really enjoyed working on it from January to June last year, and it was great to connect with schools across Europe.
Thank you, Léargas, from everybody at St. Patrick's Infant School for our quality label for our eTwinning project, Counting Rhymes. We really enjoyed working on it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I let him go again.
Hi, my name is Karen Murnan and I'm delighted to accept this award on behalf of the 3rd class in St. Patrick's National School, Brewery, County Limerick. The children thoroughly enjoyed this project and it gave them a great chance to show their creativity, and much of the work was completed while they were working at home between January and March in 2021.
Hello everyone, my name is Helen English and I'm a language teacher at Maynooth Primary School, and we are really delighted to receive the Quality Label Award for our eTwinning project, International Mother Language Day. We'd like to say a very big thank you to Léargas and the eTwinning team for their support. I was very fortunate to have had a great team of students working with me on this project who stayed engaged and saw it through to completion right throughout a very long period of remote learning and lockdown. Big thank you to our partners in Spain, in Italy, Croatia, Romania and Turkey. We look forward to more exciting projects on the eTwinning platform.
Hello everyone, Ramona here from Berskane Community College. Last year, my students and I were delighted to receive an invite to join an eTwinning project called We Are Strong Together, involving 20 schools in Europe and Turkey. The project focused on students with diverse and additional needs with the aim of developing art, sports and social skills, with a focus on raising awareness and promoting inclusion in the school. We were even more delighted to receive this national quality label as a recognition of the students' hard work and dedication to this project. We would like to thank everyone at Léargas and eTwinning for awarding it to us and your support throughout.
Hello, my name is Florence. I'm a teacher in Gamscoil Mergiamada, a secondary school based on Arranmore Island, County Donegal. And last year, some first, second-year students took part of the Mutant Goldbook project, which was coordinated by Yusuf and Elena. And together, we brought this project to success. And we would like to thank the eTwinning platform to give us the opportunity to bring the students together, to give them a different way of learning and to meet their European counterpart. But instead of me boring you with all the good things I have to tell you, I would like to give my students the opportunity to tell you what they thought about the project. So thanks again to eTwinning and enjoy.
My favourite part about it was drawing and thinking about the characters and writing the story however I wanted to.
Writing the story and developing the characters.
Well, I love my project. It's the better ear project in my favourite.
I liked illustrating my book and I liked recording the voice as to tell the story. My favourite part of the multilingual book was creating my character and coming up with a story for her.
Thank you Léargas for our quality label for our eTwinning project, Biodiversity across the EU and the USA, how we are part of the solution. With our partner schools in Croatia, France, Italy and Greece, our students explored the theme of biodiversity and the UN Sustainable Development Goals 14 and 15. Thank you to all the pupils, staff and families of St. Patrick's Infant School.
Thank you eTwinning for this award. The boys of Middleton CBS are delighted to be part of any eTwinning project and this one was no different. So our school of Magic was called Smile and it was loosely based around Harry Potter's Hogwarts school. And each teacher took a different subject. So we had a history of magic page, we had herbology, we had numbers, activities, and there were 8 countries involved. And the students were very much engaged, very interactive, and I learnt a lot of tools from the other teachers involved as well. So thank you very much.
Hi everybody, I wish to thank Léargas and eTwinning on behalf of myself and my 5th class pupils for awarding our project called Learning to Love Our Wonderful World with a national quality label. The pupils thoroughly enjoyed connecting with nature and doing their bit to combat climate change. We would also like to thank our partners in Austria for working with us. While our project has now come to an end, our climate change work is only just beginning. Thank you.
Hello and thank you from everyone at St Brendan's Community School, Borough County, Offaly for our eTwinning award. We are immensely proud. Our project, Code for Everyday, develops students' computational thinking and coding skills by creating solutions to everyday problems. Despite the difficulties and challenges faced during COVID, great credit must go to all our students who managed to complete their tasks. The pandemic helped to highlight the importance of digital skills and how technology can be used to create links with people throughout Europe. A big Gura Mila Mahagut to all our partner schools in Turkey. Thanks.
Congratulations there to all our National Quality Label winners, and thanks to Ronan for your kind words and your introduction of our winners. Some amazing work there from all our eTwinners, and it's important to remember that so much of that work would have taken part during some really, really challenging circumstances, school lockdown, everything that was going on. So really, congratulations to everybody there, and such a great achievement to have done such great work in such difficult circumstances. Hopefully that work will encourage others to join the ever-growing eTwinning community. I'd like now to introduce you to Elva Duggan. Elva is a Senior Support and Development Officer at Léargas with responsibility for vocational education and training. And Elva is here to talk about a new award for 2021, the European Innovative Teaching Award. Over to you, Elva.
Thank you very much, John. Thank you for your kind introduction. And just to say, it's a real pleasure to be here this morning and to celebrate here with you all of these wonderful awards. So thank you to my colleagues for inviting us here. As John has said, and as Minister Harris referred to this morning, this is the first year where there are European Innovative and Teaching Awards. So it's really about celebrating excellence. So what are the European Innovation Teaching Awards? Essentially, it's showcasing outstanding teaching practices carried out as part of Erasmus Plus projects. So it recognises the work of teachers and schools, and it celebrates the exceptional contribution that they make to their profession. It aims to make their work more visible and is an integral part of the European Union's plans to attain a European education area by 2025. So it's the first year of the award, and ultimately the aim is to identify, promote outstanding teaching and learning practices. It aims to foster mutual learning between teachers and school staff, and also highlight the value of Erasmus Plus to teacher collaboration across Europe. There are 4 different categories, and these are early childhood education and care, primary education, post-primary education, and vet schools. In this, the inaugural year of the European Innovation Teaching Award, the focus was on distance, blended and hybrid learning. And it's celebrating projects that use distance learning alongside teaching practices and related digital tools and other forms of blended learning to provide effective and inclusive education. And this is particularly important and relevant in the light of the current COVID-19 context. So who can receive the European Innovation Teaching Award? Well, we had a selection process and it's centred on teachers and school organisations that have taken part in an Erasmus Plus Project of Excellence between 2017 and 2020. So the following areas were eligible for the awards. So there was Erasmus Plus Learning Mobility Projects in the field of school education, in the field of vocational education and training, and also Erasmus Plus, Strategic Partnerships, also known as KU2 projects, in the field of school education and vocational education and training. Those projects had to receive an excellence score of 85 plus at final report stage and were led by projects coordinated by Irish organisations. So I don't know if many of you are familiar with Erasmus Plus opportunities, but I'll focus on the vet mobility opportunities and the schools mobility opportunities. But these are available for schools, for staff and also for learners. So for staff can participate in job shadowing, teaching assignments, courses and training, and learners, there can be group mobility of school pupils, short-term learning mobility of pupils, and long-term mobility of pupils. There's plenty of opportunities for schools and for staff and the learners and the organisation themselves. And if you want to hear any more, I'd urge you to get in touch with my colleague Deirdre O'Brien, who'll be able to provide more information. The second area I'll focus on is the vet mobility activities. And again, similarly for staff, there's job shadowing opportunities, teaching assignments, courses and training. For learners, they will have the opportunity to participate in skills competitions, learning mobility of vet learners for shorter periods of time, up to 89 days, and long-term mobility periods for 90 to 365 days. So we're turning back to the European Innovation Teaching Awards. When we looked at how we were going to select those awards, we looked at 4 thematic areas. So one was methodologies, the other was environments, teachers, and impact. So when looking at methodologies, we looked at things like multidisciplinary approaches, key competence development in knowledge, skills, and attitudes, linking formal, non-formal, and informal learning together, inclusion, participation, cooperation. We also looked at things like innovative use of tools and the learner's active role in the learning process. When it came to the topic of environments, we looked at what ways the learning environments involved in the project support innovative teaching and learning approaches. So we looked at the whole school approach, cross-sectoral cooperation, digital blended learning, and schools as enablers of innovation. Under the category of teachers, we looked at how teachers and educators involved in the project influence the innovative teaching and learning processes. So we looked at things like teachers' agency as innovators, teachers' competences, and also teachers' cooperation and peer learning. And lastly, we looked at impact. So what was the impact of the innovative teaching and learning processes elaborated and implemented in the project? So here we looked at quality of innovation processes, spillover effect to other students, teachers, schools, and local communities. So having evaluated all of that, we're delighted to announce that the Irish projects that have been selected for this year's European Innovation Teaching Award are Castleconnell National School, Loreto Balbriggan, and City of Dublin Education and Training Board. We'd like to say a warm congratulations to each of those winners involved, and I believe there's going to be a video which will show a short snapshot of each of those particular awards. Thank you for your time and enjoy the videos.
Léargas is a not-for-profit organisation and an agency of the Department of Further and Higher Education, Research, Innovation and Science. As a national agency for Erasmus Plus in Ireland, we manage international and national exchange programmes in adult education, school education, vocational education and training, and youth. Erasmus Plus is the EU programme for education, training, youth and sport from 2021 to 2027. Erasmus Plus supports citizens in their personal and professional development. The programme priorities are inclusion and diversity, digital transformation, environment and the fight against climate change, and participation in democratic life. The European Innovative Teaching Awards 2021 showcase outstanding teaching practices in Erasmus Plus projects. The awards recognise the work of teachers and schools. They also celebrate the exceptional contribution they make as an integral part of the European Union's plans to attain a European education area by 2025. The programme seeks to promote equal opportunities and access, inclusion, diversity and fairness across all its actions through easier access to funding for a wider range of organisations and reaching out to more participants with fewer opportunities, addressing the barriers different target groups may face in accessing such opportunities within Europe and beyond. The programme will support the development of high-quality digital skills and competences, as well as the development and uptake of innovative digital learning and teaching practices and distance learning methodologies across the sectors.
Thank you, Elva from Léargas there for that introduction, and congratulations to all the winners of this new award, the European Innovative Teaching Awards. So well done to all the schools involved there. So this concludes the award section this morning, and we'd like to just say a big thank you to everyone for being part of the celebrations today. And once again, congratulations to you all.
We now invite you to take a short break and recharge your batteries. At 11:30 a.m. you can rejoin us for your workshop. So all you need to do is click on the link to the workshops, which is on the left-hand side of your screen. So you'll leave the main stage and you'll enter the workshop space. Both workshops will be there, and you click on the workshop of your choice. Don't worry if you didn't register your choice. You can still click on a workshop that you wish to join today. So again, as Kira said, thank you so much for joining us, and a final congratulations to all our winners. Do stick around for the workshops. They've been carefully chosen to kind of highlight innovative approaches to teaching, so they're right on theme. So please stay on board for those. But we hope you enjoyed this morning's awards. Thank you for coming, and goodbye to everybody.